Thoughts on old Kwesi's first draft as the Vikings GM? All right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, and Kwesi's first draft is in the books. It is now time for us to see how we did.
It's history. It is history. It is in the past. We can only maybe take some things from it and apply those to the future. But before we do, be sure to drop hashtag 7,000 in the comments. There is still time to win the sweet swag giveaway. We finally hit that glorious number over the weekend. Thanks again, everybody who's liked and subscribed over the years.
Yes, hashtag 7,000, and you have to be subscribed. And also some quick programming news. Julian Marker, who won the jersey on the tailgate, already bought his jersey, and he is going with Dalvin Cook, the new number 4 jersey, and he's very excited.
Not a bad choice. Not home or away. Home or away.
I believe it was actually away.
What size was it?
I don't know. I'm going to say a child medium. But let's do this. Kwesi, in the books. We're just going to give our initial thoughts. As always, we definitely want to see your comments down below what you thought of his first draft as GM. Lupagus, take it away.
Well, a couple of things. I think we learned some things that we can maybe be more prepared for what to expect next year. And the number one thing is this guy is a mover and a dealer. He will move up and down the board, not afraid to finagle draft picks to get to where he needs to be, whether that's in the first round, second round, or trading away 6-rounders 5 different times.
Yeah, and everybody's putting out those comments, oh, it's Rick Spielman 2.0, blah, blah, blah. I didn't get that feeling at all. Rick Spielman likes to collect 6th and 7th round picks. He likes just as many picks as possible. Where Kwesi, he traded back, but then he traded up when he wanted players, and Rick did not do that. So I'm not buying that just yet. If he does this for the next 7 drafts, I'm like, all right, fine.
I feel like Kwesi moved down. Rick moved down and then would just hope the guy he wanted would fall to him. And then if not, he had a backup plan. And Kwesi, he'll move down and then he'll jump back up. Not afraid. He wants his guy. He'll come get him.
And one thing also to keep in mind that I could be way off here, but I don't know if I'm not buying in that this is going to be his MO either, because Kwesi needs some of his own players. I mean, as much as we love this guy, he's going to have to make some very tough decisions, and he already knows guys he's getting rid of. So maybe this draft he wanted a couple extra picks just because he knows who's already going to be gone.
It's possible. And some positions we're just not very deep at too. So maybe he had to look at stock up a little bit more. Maybe he needed more players this year. I think another thing we got to look at with this guy is he kind of identifies who his guy is and then goes after him. And that may sound way too general, but look at Lewis Cine. He knew he had pick 12. Lewis Cine was always seen as a fringe first round guy. He knew he could move back. He was a little scared to go all the way back to 32. Took less compensation to do that. Same thing with the Caleb Evans in round 4. This was the guy he wanted. He moved up to get him. So, it worked out this year. I think that is actually something that could come to backfire and bite him in the ass down the road. Either if it leads to a reach or trying to move down and then not getting the guy he wants.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't get to the point where he just thinks he's smarter than everybody else. I mean, it seems like it panned out this year. We will see, but kind of on that same line is he's going to do it his way. I mean, it's his way. I don't care if it's against the grain. Clearly trading with division rivals twice very early. He didn't give 2 shits.
No, he's not afraid to make other teams in the division better if it helps to make his team better in the process. And then we've already talked about it, but we loved it when he said, hey, they got to play the Vikings too. They got to beat us. Took out those balls. He flopped them out there for everybody to see. And he's challenging the Packers and the Lions we traded with. Come beat us if you're so damn good with these players you got.
Something tells me, I mean, the moves he made, they don't just flop out. They come out with some force. They are big. It takes a lot of guts to make those moves. And one thing on that, though, is he's said it a few times at least, where he knew those guys were going to get those players anyways. He knew the teams that were going to trade up with him right after us anyways. So he said, why not get the value? Why not do it? And he'll just deal with the backlash.
And he did. And that's another thing I think we need to talk about. This guy could have took Vendarian Lowe in round 1, and then after he explains it in the post-draft conference, all of a sudden you like the pick because he is that smooth. He's got a way of just making everything sound good and all right. And once you hear him talk, you love everything he does.
Yeah, and that kind of brings up my next point is the Ed Ingram pick. So Ed Ingram, Kwesi, just all he does is talk about culture. But then round 2, he takes Ed Ingram. And regards to the past, I know it got dropped and everything like that. But if you actually look at the details of what this was, it was not fantastic. So I hope he sticks true to that and doesn't just like see the value there and just puts it out the window.
Well, I hope they, did much more digging into this than we were in the general media knows about, general public knows about. I'm sure they went deep down. I mean, look at the movie Draft Day. They knew that no one came to Bo Callahan's birthday party. So I'm sure they had this thing vetted inside and out.
Well,
I would not, especially if you're going to preach culture, then you go second round, take a guy like that.
Well, here's the concerning part is Ed Ingram said he never really talked to them. He talked to him at the combine. And when the Vikings took him, he was shocked.
Well, it doesn't mean they didn't do the background research.
I'm just saying, for somebody for background, you want to talk to him.
Exactly. I would have also wanted to talk to him. So that is, you hope this just isn't something they just missed, right? They didn't miss this.
No. I mean, I'm not. Clearly, they knew about it. Ed Ingram said a lot of the teams were asking about that specific thing. Whatever it is, I mean, that's the only thing out of this whole draft that is just a little bit. I mean, for how much they preach culture. We'll see. Maybe it's all behind them. Maybe they know a lot more than us, like you said.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. But again, he came out and he said that they looked into it and they were comfortable with what would happen and the story behind it. So,
Ed was shocked that he's a Minnesota Viking.
Hope he wasn't shocked he was drafted.
Well, I mean, the theme out of this whole first draft, and we can't just, it's a very small sampling. We can't just say, oh yeah, next year we're gonna have 10 more picks. We're gonna keep trading out of round 1, but the number one theme for me is he's just got balls. He's got balls, and he's not afraid to. I don't think he's afraid what people think.
Well, and then another thing I'm going to be ready for next year is for him to move up and down the board, and not just to trade down or be a guy who trades, but to go up and down, keep moving around. You got to keep watching that helmet because it's going to change when Kwesi's making the call. So unless that was just that's still in my head when I close my eyes, which is great. I love it. But that's one thing I want to expect for next year. Just be ready for him to move around.
He'll have a plan. There's no doubt about that. He knew he was trading out of that first round pick damn near immediately, and he did it. So let us know what you think about Kwesi's first draft ever. Are you excited? Are you happy? Let us know everything.
Remember this. The 10 oldest people to ever live were all women.